Hello, Neptune family. Today we are interviewing Nick Perdomo Jr. of the prestigious Perdomo Cigar. So, how are you today, Nick?
I'm doing great, Roxanne. How about yourself?
I'm doing great too. And we are really excited to have you here because a little birdie told us that you guys are releasing some new cigars this year.
Yeah, we don't really release many new ones, but we've been fortunate. We've released two new ones, and today will be one of the first times people have ever seen the newest one that comes out next month, which is our Perdomo Inmenso, which we actually started in the mid '90s, but with demand and a lot of people asking us, we decided to come out with this. So we're excited.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about the Inmenso in particular. So, big ring gauges are becoming more and more popular. We're very excited that you guys are releasing the Inmenso line. Do you think Perdomo customers can expect size expansions to other lines as well?
No, because I think we have a pretty good repertoire of cigars from 38 to 42 to 44 to 46, 50, 52, 54, and 60. So I think we're in really good shape. The one that's been incredible has been the new Perdomo Reserve Maduro with the blue label. This has actually been
Hmm.
the biggest release we've had since Perdomo Reserve Champagne, which is going to eclipse 20 years, believe it or not, and the new Perdomo 10th anniversary Sungrown, which both these cigars are available at Neptune. And I just wanted to show you the new Menso because nobody's really seen it. So this is the first one here, and this is the Sungrown. It's going to come in three different shapes. It's going to come in a 5x70, a 6x70, and a 7x70. Either a sun-grown wrapper or a Maduro wrapper, which you see here with the black. Um, we had a consensus with our tasting panel because I wanted the cigar to be really good, even though the ring gauge is very large. I wanted to make the cigar excellent, so we actually had a consensus with our tasting panel. So I'm really happy, and I think our consumers are going to be very happy. We've actually sold out the first container already, and we're
Wow.
expecting to have it here in 2 weeks. So, well, believe it or not, we made the cigars almost 8 months ago. The thing that delayed us really was the packaging from Holland because of COVID. Europe has been pretty shut down. So we're excited. We finally got it. The factory's packaging all the cigars right now as we speak, and the containers coming in next Thursday. So, well, we should be having around retailers around the United States. Like I said, probably around the last week of April, the first week of May.
That's almost here. So that's coming up. A lot of retailers should be hitting the shelves pretty soon then. And that's
Yes.
really exciting because there are so many people. Now that I speak to a lot of customers, people ask, I love this line. Is there anything bigger? Is there anything bigger? And most of the time they have to settle with either like a Toro or a Churchill, and the Churchill will be like slightly thinner, but they just want that like 7x70. So it's nice that you're doing 570, 670, and 770.
And what we're really excited too is the price points. The price points are going to be in the 775 to 850 price range for the
Wow.
biggest one. So I think we came in at an excellent price point, and on top of it, the cigars it's got the Perdomo quality. Every cigar's draw test is very well made, and we really use a lot of our great fillers around the three regions that we grow our tobacco here in Nicaragua. So it's exciting. We even did a test market here in our store. We brought 700 cigars, and consumers would come around, and they we they buy the cigars, and we asked them what they thought about them. The cigars didn't have bands on them, and it was overwhelmingly that the guys really enjoyed the cigars. So we're happy with it. We think it's going to be a big winner for us. Like I said, we had come out with this brand in 1996. It was probably a little early back in those days, even though we sold a lot of them. It's a huge market segment. You're spot on that, Roxanne.
Yeah, this is gonna be like it's gonna disrupt the market in the best way possible. It's gonna be like Perdomo's entering with the big rain gauges, and let's see how it does.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited about the response. A lot of our retailers have ordered really well. Like I said, the first container is completely sold out already.
Amazing.
So I'm really humbled by that. If you look at the 10th anniversary Maduro and Sungrown, when we first came out of it, we didn't even have samples, and our salesman eclipsed over 1 million cigars in a quarter without even people trying them. So I'm really humbled that the retailers and the consumers trust us enough to buy something sight unseen. So it's really nice. It's a nice feeling.
It's like you said, it's not only that price point, but that Perdomo quality, which brings me to the next question. So a lot of our customers that order Perdomo have been ordering the same boxes for years. How have you worked towards creating brand loyalty as strong as this?
Well, that's one of the things I'm most proud of. You know, I don't. A lot of people seem to think that you have to come out with a cigar consistently all the time. It's almost like throwing something against a wall and have it stick. One of the things I'm most proud of is if you look at brands like Perdomo Reserve Champagne, it's been out almost 20 years, Habano 20 years, Lot 23, 22 years, Fresco 23 years. We have a strategy when we come out with a brand. And several years ago, I met Gene Simmons from Kiss, and we were talking, and he was telling me about the Kiss Army, and he said you should come out with a Perdomo Army, and we just have a very loyal clientele. I'm very appreciative, and I think the main reason is because of all the travel time, being in the stores that not only I have done, and Arthur Kemper and my son, but we really go out to the level where we're out there with our consumers, beating the shoe leather every day, and I think that makes it a big difference in being very interactive, not only with our retailers, but also our consumers. I think it's kind of differentiated ourselves. I like going to the stores. I love my customers. To me, the hair stands on my arms a lot of times. People are happy to see you. They love your products. It doesn't get any better than that. A lot of people tell me, isn't it a drag to go out to these stores? I'm like, absolutely not. These are the guys that feed your family and feed your workforce and everything. So I'm just humbled by all the nice words. Nobody comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. I need a box of cigars." They're always happy to see you. So I feel very privileged for what I do, and I think that's why we have that loyalty. That's a great question.
That is amazing. Yeah, I get super surprised because it's people that'll call, and not every single customer, of course, but a majority of them that I have had to deal with. I see in the order history, it's like Perdomo, Perdomo, Perdomo. And I'm like, oh, wow, you really love Perdomo. And it is that kind of loyalty that, they don't care. They're like, I don't need anything new. I don't need another brand. This is my brand. I love these cigars and I'll smoke these till I die. And I'm like, they're doing something right.
Well, thank them for me next time. One of the nicest stories, I was just recently in the Southeast. I was in Atlanta, and a guy had brought an old box, one of the first boxes of Perdomo Reserve Champagne, and it was 20 years old, the box. He had bought it. It was for the birth of his son, and he was buying another box because his son was going to get married in 3 months. So what a great feeling that you sell a guy a box of cigars when his son is born, and now he's buying the same box of cigars because now his son is going to get married. It just shows the longevity of our brands, and also the great work that our workers do. I always say it, and I'll say it again, the greatest asset of my company is certainly not me. It's our workforce, and we have a phenomenal workforce, not only in Nicaragua, but here in the United States. I'm proud of every one of them.
That is a really beautiful story. And it also reminds me of not only how you guys are proud of your workforce, but you're proud specifically of having your family and so many family members working over at Perdomo. So we know that the Perdomo brand is big on family. How many generations of Perdomos have worked in the cigar industry?
My son Nicholas, who runs our sales department now, is the fourth generation of cigar makers.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a long lineage. My father was the director of the H. Upmann factory in Cuba in the late 40s. My grandfather was his main competitor. He ran a factory called Partagas. My grandfather's brother was the minister of tobacco in Cuba for 44 years. But I actually started the industry out of my garage, a lot like the family at Neptune did. Started out small and meager and built it. And my father said that I live in the greatest country in the world, and if I work hard, I can attain anything I want. So my starts were extremely meager. My first year, I sold less than 10,000 cigars out of a one car garage. But I knew that if I kept working hard, I would build it. And thank God for all you guys and all the consumers out there. We've really built our company, and we're really proud of what we've done. And I do work with a lot of family. My mother's 86 years old, still works with the company. My uncle Tony, unfortunately, just passed away, but he had stayed with the company, worked till he was 84. My brother Billy, a lot of you guys know, here in South Florida, does a phenomenal job. Who's been working for me for 26 years. My wife Janine has been with the company, and now my son. So we have a big family caption in the business, and I love it. We work really well together. Unfortunately, my father passed away, but him and I were very cohesive and worked really well together. So it's special to be able to do that.
So you have like 4 generations of Perdomos at the moment.
Yeah.
That is amazing. What's it like working specifically with your children, with your son, and I think your daughter too? She's doing law to help with the Perdomo stuff as well. That is beyond amazing.
I love it because we're a really close family. You know, I actually spend, I usually go out, I usually eat dinner with my kids, even to this day, at least 3 to 4 times a week, Roxana. So we really have a very close family. You know, we all got together for Easter, you know, every holiday. And we live close together. You know, I live in one building. My daughter lives in the building next to me, which is really nice. My son lives right by the office here in Miami Lakes. My mom lives in Hialeah. So we get to see each other all the time. And, you know, I grew up here. So it's been a blessing that we can see each other and we get along so good together.
That is really nice. And as like a pun, la tradición, not only the cigar, but also the Perdomo tradition. You think your son will also name his firstborn Nick as well?
There's no doubt about it. He's been telling me that since he was 7. So he's been married for 3 years, and they're trying to have children right now. I have no doubt in my mind, and I'm looking forward to being a grandfather. My daughter's trying too, so they really want to have children, and Janine and I are excited about it.
That's amazing. Yeah, you'll have a fifth generation working at Perdomo soon.
So yeah.
So Nick, you have other passions such as playing the drums, and we've seen you play before at IPCPR, and you were great. What comes to mind when you remember those early 1990s days spent playing the drums and making cigars in your garage in comparison with today?
Well, today my drum set's a hell of a lot bigger, but I play it a lot less because I'm so much, you know, you're just so busy. And I feel blessed that you know, I have 3 drum sets in my office. That's kind of part of my passion. I have several hobbies, but that's definitely one of them. But one of my hobbies, believe it or not, is working. I really enjoy what I do. You know, like I said earlier, I feel blessed that I can go out to stores and everybody tells you how much they enjoy your product and how passionate they are of your passion, which is my passion is trying to make the best cigars money can buy. So it really makes your day. I mean, honestly, I was telling a friend of mine just recently, I mean, the hair stands on on my arm sometimes when people tell you what great experiences that they've had, whether it was a wedding present or a birthday or a birth of a child, and buying a box of your cigars. I mean, seriously, it doesn't get any better than that. And I think I love the industry today more than I've ever loved, and I've always loved it. So I feel very blessed.
That is interesting. You're like, one of my hobbies is working. I was like, what do you mean? But then I'm like, you know what? When you love your job, it becomes something way more. And it's cigars. I feel like it's hard for cigars to just be a job, especially if you enjoy them that much and you enjoy learning and talking about them. So the fact that you and I believe your son too, you both visit a lot of stores, talk to a lot of retailers, a lot of customers. It's a really great way to not only be more hands-on with your work as a brand, but also meet people and have them, tell you firsthand what they think, even some constructive criticism and stuff like that, that you can hear from retailers. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I want to hear their input. I want to see what they like, what they don't like, what they think. You know, a lot of the stuff that we come up with is really input from our consumers and our retailers. You know, we have a YouTube channel. We always ask people to please tell us what you want. And, you know, we take a lot of that. For example, the 6x60 was a brand that we came out with almost 17 years ago. I didn't think it was going to really do as well as it did. Today we have 70 sets of rollers that make 6x60 Gordos and Super Toros, and it's been huge for our company. So you really got to listen. And, you know, God gave us 2 ears and one mouth for a reason. And I'm a listener, but I'm also a people person. And I think part of the reason I enjoy my job so much is getting to meet all the consumers and our retailers all around the country. And I do try to visit as much as I can. I will tell you, since all this has happened, the events that we're doing, you can't fit a crouton in them because people are just excited to be outside and living their lives again. And I'm happy about that too.
Of course, so many people have been smoking in their own, apartments and houses, and they're just ready to have the lounges open up, have other people to talk to in person. So definitely. Has that affected a lot of your travel this past year?
It sure has, especially in Nicaragua. I mean, I just got back, but I had almost I think I had 13 flights canceled in the last year
Wow.
just in Nicaragua. I've had, you know, some time I was going to stay away, spend with my wife that got canceled, but I'm back on. I got 9 more trips in the next 6 months, so I'm going to be real busy traveling around doing events. I just got back from the southeast doing some really great events around the Georgia area, and it's nice to be able to work with our sales team and also to be out on the road and and working, with our retailers and our consumers, which is really great. And I got to thank Neptune Cigars too. I feel devoid if I didn't. We've been doing business a long time, and the growth that we've had between both companies has been incredible. And I like your company very much because it kind of mirrors our company where we're family. You have Luce and Chris and the whole family works. And she's a hard worker because, I was talking to my brother just recently about Luce, where she's watching the kids and has to work late at night. And you guys are all workhorses like we are. And I just have a lot of respect for that.
Definitely. It is very respectable. Luz is like my role model. I love her. So it's nice that you have a lot of people working, it is just not only family, but the people that work for you become your family as well. So it becomes more than a job in that sense.
Absolutely. We've had over 700 people retire for our company. And the reason that I was trying to get to Nicaragua so bad last month was we had number 701 retire, and I've never missed one retirement ceremony for any of our workers. And I was glad that I got down there. I had to go through hoops to get down there, but I did. And I'm proud of that. Your greatest asset in a good company it's certainly not me. It's our workforce. And the average worker's been with Perdomo for 19.9 years. So to me, they are like members of the family. I still have my first 4 initial employees that started with the company are still with me. My 2 oldest employees actually passed away with the company. They didn't want to retire. And I'm blessed. We have a very loyal work staff, not only in Nicaragua, but here you can imagine we have over 5,000 employees. So to be able to have that many employees stay loyal to you, it's really a treat and really a blessing for us.
Definitely special. And it is just crazy thinking back to 1990, 1992, when you're there playing your drums in your garage, when you're there selling cigars out of the garage, making cigars out of the garage, and how big your company got. And even the factory in Nicaragua, Luz was telling me about the factory tours, and I wanted to ask you about that. So Perdomo is a brand that's very independent from growing their own tobacco and making their own boxes. You guys have shown the different stages of operation to your cigar enthusiasts that go to the factory tours. What can someone who hasn't attended expect from a Perdomo factory tour? I know we had a couple employees go I believe 2-3 years ago to the Perdomo tour, and they loved it. Mind blown.
Yeah, first of all, I think you hit it right on the head. I think everybody goes on the tour does one thing, they fall in love with it. We have a lot of fun, but it's also very educational. Someone said it's kind of like going to Harvard, because look, my whole thing about going on these tours is I want you to learn everything, and I want you to feel the passion. We actually involve everybody in all the operation, because we're completely vertical. They get to see everything, whether it's the genetic department developing seed all the way through going to the farms. We have a lot of fun in the evening, but it's really about being educated, really about learning. We call it the Perdomo way and the way we do things. And listen, we've been doing these tours for 15 years. The first time we've had to cancel was last year. We've never canceled one tour. We get between 400 to 500 people every single year coming down. And we love it. And the only ones who do it is really Arthur Kemper, our vice president, and myself, because we really want to show all the intricacies and everything that we do. And it takes 3,054 steps to make one of our cigars, because we're completely vertical. And we actually show you those in 2.5 days visually. And the people really love it. And we love it just as much to show them.
That is really cool. I know a lot of factories have an invite only policy where only they don't really show much to the public. They'll have a couple people come in that kind of work or are associated in the industry. The Perdomo tours are open to anybody normally pre-COVID.
Yeah, and we're going to start them again in 2022 in the latter part of January through February and March. We already have a ton of people that want to sign on right now, because people certainly want to get out. And some of the people that couldn't go last year, of course, want to come on. So we're excited about it. We think we're going to go in probably in through March. We're predicting we might have over 600 to 700 people on this quarter on that tour in 2022. So it's a lot of fun. The food's great. The company's great. Listen, you don't really meet many bad cigar smokers. So we sit around in rocking chairs at night and have some drinks and we talk. But we talk about the day, because we really show them everything. And it's it's forget the great food and everything, but we're working out there. We're really teaching, and it's a lot of fun.
And how does that work exactly? If I wanted to go, for example, I would book the flight to Nicaragua, book my hotel, and then, or is it like a hotel that everyone stays at?
Yeah, we make it very simple. You come in, we even have our own travel agent if you like. The flights are booked. The first night you stay in Managua with the Camino Real, which is right across the street from the airport. The reason we do it is because people are coming in from all over the world just to acclimate the time change. And then the next morning we go out to Esteli. Everything's covered: the hotel, the bus ride, the cigars, and everything. There's a preset on what they pay, and it's all lock, stock, and barrel. You don't have to worry about anything. Before you come to Nicaragua, it's already done for you from the time you get there till the time you get back on the airplane. And we've done it for so many years. We have it done so well that it's just seamless.
That's amazing. That is like way cooler than I expected, because I thought, okay, what if someone, was just busy trying to find like the trip over to Nicaragua, trying to book a hotel. How do they get to the factory? But if it's all done, then that's like
Everybody,
effortless.
everybody's on the same flights coming from Miami to Managua, or if they're coming from Houston, Managua, or Atlanta, Managua. Everything is set up where we all land within 8 minutes of each other. So everybody has a manifest, everybody has a WhatsApp with everybody's numbers. As soon as you land, you call, and we have people waiting for you. It's either usually me or Arthur, and we fill up the bus and we have the count, and then we head right out. But it's so organized, and it should be that way because I feel responsible for people. You're going to another country, and it should be easy. Luz's sister went down, Mariana. She can tell you it's very, very organized. Shelly was down, so it was a lot of fun having the Neptune people come down too.
Yeah, that sounds very fun. When they told me, I was like, okay, that sounds really cool.
You got to
And
come.
it is very organized. I know I have to go every time I talk to anybody with a factory. I'm like, dang, like now I'm so interested in going, but this COVID stuff, man.
Just do it. Don't
Hopefully
worry
it
about
gets better. Nah,
it.
I know, I know. I just hope that like it gets a lot better, especially, by 2022, the masks and everything and the planes. But hopefully, I mean, I would love to go to the factory because it just sounds so awesome, and especially how organized the trip is. There's that Perdomo quality again, showing up in organization.
Yeah, it has to be organized because you have so many people, and it makes it more fun when it's organized because nobody has to worry about anything. All they have to do is put their clothes on, and everything else is taken care of. Whether it's food, snacks, drinks, it's completely done. You get a lot of experience when you've been doing it for 15 straight years. So we have it down to the T.
Of course, and I'm sure within the past year that it was kind of closed down, you guys were tweaking it and trying to make it better.
Yeah, we got lucky. We never closed our facilities. COVID was really never a problem in Nicaragua. There's extremely few cases. And I think, a lot of it had to do with the antibodies that people have down there. You know what I mean? And there wasn't a big Chinese factor that went into the country either. And they did really well. They actually won an award. The country did just recently on just having very little to no COVID cases. And we were happy about that. And look, if you've been to my factory, it's extremely spotless. People that come down always mention that. And I was a germ freak before COVID was popular. So we make sure that everything is spick and span down there.
Of course. No, that's definitely, Perdomo is like at the top of my list of factories to visit. So I definitely must go. And I wanted to ask you, so Nick, what is the Perdomo blend that you are the most fond of? Out of all your blends, every cigar you've ever made, the one blend that you're like, man, my memories about the cigar just.
Well, I'll tell you the one I'm most proud of because I love them all. I blend them, so I have to love them. They got my last name on it. But I think the brand that I'm most proud of would definitely be the Perdomo Reserve Champagne. And the reason is it's a brand that we've had for 20 years. It continues increasing in sales year in and year out. And it was a love affair between my dad and I on coming up with this particular cigar because we had all these great #1 Connecticut seed wrappers from Ecuador that we weren't using because back in those days I never used it. And my father said, hey, we're tired of all this wrapper. What are we going to do? So we ended up trying to make a blend that I would be able to impart the nuances and the creaminess of that wrapper. And you got to understand, my tobaccos come from Nicaragua. They're extremely rich, they're thick, they're fertile. So when we came up with that blend, it actually took us about 11 months before we came out with the cigar that we thought would be perfect. And to see its growth and see its sales and seeing how consistent it is, because when we grow tobacco, we do everything by lot numbers, not even by the region, but actually by lots. And the reason we do that is so the brand stays consistent, the blend stays consistent. And to be able to have a brand that's 20 years old that just sells the way it sells, you got to be proud of that. You know what I mean? So I've been very happy with that. I think that's the brand I'm most proud of. But I go all across the board when I smoke. But I have to like the brand before it comes out, and I'm proud of all of them, to be quite honest with you.
Of course, that's always a hard question to answer. I always ask it just in case. I'm like, which one is your favorite? And people are like, oh man, I love them all. Imagine, it's so hard to pick. It's like picking your favorite child. But
Yeah,
this one in particular is so popular.
Yeah, I think the brand that I smoked the most of lately is the 20th anniversary Sun Grown, and I'm smoking a lot of the new 10th anniversary Maduro and Sun Grown. That's what I'm smoking. I'm smoking the actual 10th anniversary Sun Grown. I like those are the three that are in my wheelhouse. But last night I was with my wife. We were having coffee on the balcony, and I smoked a champagne torpedo, and I thought it really paired well with the coffee I was drinking. So it's fun to be able to smoke everything and try all these different things.
Definitely. That one is the most popular that I've seen people order and reorder and reorder and never stop. Like the Champagne Epicure. They
Oh
just
yeah.
love it.
Oh,
So it's very popular. And every time I see it, I'm like, oh man, this person knows what they want. They've been smoking this forever. So then what we have
really
is three new blends, right?
Yeah, we have three. We have the new Inmenso and the two wrappers, and we have the new 10th anniversary Sun Grown and Maduros right here. And these two, like I said, the new 10s, the Maduro and the Sun Grown, they've been selling outrageously well beyond what we ever thought. And we're honored that we have a 45-foot high cube container with Immensos, and everyone is sold already before we ship it. We literally were telling our salesman today maybe not to mention it for the next couple weeks, so we can, because we want to make sure that our consumers and our retailers that have them, that want them now, are going to get them, and if they need more cigars, they're going to get them. Nobody should wait in line to give you their money. And one of the things that we're extremely proud of is the way we ship. We're making sure that we continue shipping our retailers even throughout this time, because sales have been incredible, because more people are smoking more cigars, more people are at home, and whether they're home or not, they're smoking more cigars, because I can see the demand. It's been really incredible.
That is true. That is something that in the past year was very shocking. I think everyone was afraid of operations closing in general, but it was amazing that since more people are home, they're smoking more, they're just chilling more. And, what better way to relax than by smoking a cigar, especially within your own backyard, and making like an impromptu little man cave lounge. If you can't go out with your friends, whatever, you bring the party to you.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
So then you guys have two new Sun Growns, two new Maduros.
Yes, but the Immenso and then the 10th anniversaries, those are the two new lines. And like I said earlier, we don't come out with many new lines, but we have great inventories of tobacco. We really wanted to come out with something. In this segment on the 70, there's quite a few people that really like these 70 ring gauges, and we've had a lot of demand. And when our customers ask, we have to proceed and do what they wish. So I think they're really going to enjoy these cigars.
Yeah, I'm not a big ring gauge girl myself, but I am very excited for the people that love big ring gauges, because with that price point, like 7 something up to 8 something, for that side, they're gonna love it. This cigar, once it hits the shelves, it's gonna sell out immediately. I already know it. So yeah, congrats on that, and early congrats.
Thank you. We're excited about it. I got to pay for my daughter's last semester of college. This will help.
Good. Well, she'll be helping you guys out after. Absolutely. With any legal issues, so you'll be fine. That's alrighty, right. Nick. So my last question for today is, what would you like to tell the Neptune customers today?
Well, I'd like to tell the Neptune customers thank you for their patronage and supporting our family and buying our cigars. I'd also like to thank Neptune Cigars in general for being such a great business partner. They do a wonderful job, and the growth that they've had in such a short amount of time is really incredible when you think about it. But really, it's a two-tier answer. Really, thanks to all the consumers who buy from Neptune, that buy Perdomo cigars, and again, I'd like to thank Neptune for their support. They've been just a great business partner, and I know my brother loves them very much too. So thank you guys.
It is always a nice time when Billy comes by, so that's nice. I mean, it is nice to have two companies where a lot of family members work at, so it is very sweet. It is very like you said, kind of like mirrors, or like bounce off each other. But thank you so much, Nick. It has been very, very helpful today. We are very excited for all of the new blends, all four. So once that hits the shelves, we're really excited to see how they do.
I'm equally as excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we hope to see you in the future, especially maybe in a factory tour, maybe in another interview, but we'll definitely be seeing more of you.
Well, count on it.
Definitely. Thank you for coming on, Nick. Have a good
Thank
one,
you
okay?
guys. You too. Thank you very much.